Good morning. Um, I'm sorry for the short notice, but we were informed that students will be needing to take a Star 360 assessment for the end of the year. Um, I figured that the easiest way would be for you to help them log on, as if I do everybody at once, it might take a little bit longer. So what these assessments are is they're kind of a benchmark of how students are performing in comparison to other students at their grade level. We take these at the beginning of the year, and then we take them at second trimester, and we take this assessment at the end of the year. In class, we actually take it a little bit more often just so that I can get a little bit of a sense of where they are throughout the year, but the district does want us to submit these assessments for the end of the year. So by Thursday of this week, because that's our last day of school. I want you to know that these assessments are not the everything. There are a lot of factors that influence the assessment, right? Some students are not test takers. And as we know, instruction has not been ideal. So we might see some decline from the last time we took it, so which was right before we left break, or we might see an increase, which would be great as well. I will be sharing, I can share the scores with you. After we're done testing, probably next week. What these assessments are, you're going to be taking, the students are going to be taking a reading assessment and a math assessment. There's also an early literacy assessment, which that is the one that they took at the beginning of the year because they weren't readers. So the early literacy assessment measures like their sounds. They're able to break up words into sounds and things like that. Basic skills or foundational skills needed to become readers. So the early literacy one is going to be an option if you want to take that one after you take the reading one. That's totally an option for you, but I do need the math and the reading assessments to be done. I have been hearing that there might be some glitches. I know I just heard from another teacher who just started that one parent was complaining that the questions were a little bit too difficult for first graders, actually very difficult, that they were not grade level. So I don't know why those questions are there. All I'm going to ask is that you try your very, very best. These questions are timed, so I believe it's about 30-40 seconds. If a student is not able to answer the question in that amount of time, then it automatically moves you on to the next question, and the question you did not answer is marked wrong. It should be a progressive test, so as you go through it, it should be getting a little bit more challenging, but as I'm hearing for some reason, it's starting off with really difficult questions right off the bat. So if that's the case, then I'm going to ask you to just try your very, very best. Nothing is going to happen with these scores, really. It's just data. Okay, so I don't want you to worry that if your student does poorly, they're not going to move on to second grade or anything like that. It's just data. So I don't want anybody to feel stressed. I know I've heard from some other teachers already that parents were feeling very, very overwhelmed by this assessment, and I don't want that to be the case for you. It's just data. Okay, so I want students to try their very best, but I want you to know that there is going to be no negative consequence because of the results. Okay, so I know you're going to be at home and you're going to be tempted to want to help your student, but I'm going to ask you to please, please, please let them go through this on their own and tell them to focus. But if something is too hard, tell them to use their prior knowledge, try to work it out, make their best guess, and move on. If they don't know the answer, tell them to focus on their prior knowledge. What do they think it might be? And then they can make their best guess and move on. Okay? So it shouldn't be something that we're panicking if we're not able to answer a question, especially since I'm hearing that some of the questions are going to be very difficult right off the bat, which shouldn't be the case. but unfortunately I can't change the assessment. So I just want you guys to go through it as best as you can. Okay. It should be a one-time thing. You can log back on and take the assessment again. But like I said, I don't want this to become a stressful thing for you. It's just data. If you choose to log back in and retake it, I can't stop you. If you think your child was not focusing or you'd like to retake it, I would just want you to let me know, like, hey, we're going to retake this, I think. And then you and I can talk about it. Let's see if there's anything else I should tell you about it. I think that's it. If you have any questions about it or concerns, please let me know. But like I said, just go through it. Obviously, we want to see the best number possible. So I do want students to take it seriously, and I want them to do it on their own. But it's an assessment. Nothing bad is going to happen. Okay, I want you as the parent to know that it's going to be okay. The way to log on the iPad, I'm going to go through it on my desktop, but also if you want your child to do it on a desktop or a laptop rather than their iPad, then these would be the steps. On your iPad, you're going to find a little icon that looks like this. It says Star360. It's red. You're going to click on it. And when you click on it, it's going to redirect you to this website, Renaissance Learning. And you will click, I am a student. And I will provide you with the username and password. When you click I'm a student, it's going to ask you to input your username and password. This is mine as a teacher, but you will put in yours and your password. And when you're in, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. So up here in the blue, you have your Star360 assessments. You have a reading test, early literacy, which is the one that I was telling you that measures foundational skills for reading. And then you have your math test. I recommend, or I would like you to first take the reading test. So we'll move in progression here. First, take the reading test. We have until Thursday to take them, so I would like you to take one per day. I don't want you to overwhelm students with two. I do know that there are some students that are going to want to move on, but I don't want them to rush through it. So I would like you to do one test per day. So today we would take the reading test. So as soon as you take the reading test, it'll log you on. I'm not going to click on it because this is the students and I don't want to go through the test for them. But you click take a reading test and it should start you with some practice questions and then you'll start the test. Tomorrow, I would like you to take the math test. Okay, so take the math test. And also, since I told you it's a progression, you're definitely going to see some questions on there that are not first grade standards if your child is moving along. Like I told you, I've heard that right off the bat, it's starting with difficult questions. I don't know why that's the case, but just make your best guess right now. But you should, if your child is progressing through it, you should expect to see some questions that are not first grade because it should be moving you through higher standards if they're going further than first grade. So again, reading test today, math test tomorrow, and then if you would like to, on Wednesday, take an early literacy just so we have that data. Okay. I think that's it. And also, this is the way to get into your AR. If you haven't already gotten into your AR, this is a way to take a test. This is going to be available during summer, so students can read books and take quizzes on the reading down here. Okay, I hope that it goes well. Good luck. And if you have any questions, just let me know, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And I will get those passwords and everything sent to you. Okay, good luck, and thank you so much for all your support.